Myth number 3. Napoleon died in exile on the island of St. Helena in 1821. He had been exiled there after his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. The Battle of Waterloo was fought on June 18, 1815, near Waterloo in present-day Belgium, ending the Napoleonic Wars, and resulting in a decisive victory for the Seventh Coalition over an army led by Napoleon Bonaparte. Nelson had been sent to blockade Napoleon's forces before they could escape from their base at Toulon. Early in the battle, it seemed as if all was lost, when a number of British ships were forced to retreat due to damage. Shocked by the sudden defeat and faced with the prospect of being captured or killed, Nelson quickly ordered his fleet to turn about and engage the French once again. The decisive moment in this struggle came when Nelson gave orders for a column of smoke to be made from every cannon during a brief respite in the battle which appeared imminent. The captain of the British ship Victory, Samuel L. Grave, then signaled to break off action. And Nelson returned to London, where he popularized his "I have not yet begun to fight" phrase. In 1806, Napoleon I of France ordered a blockade of Britain in an effort to starve Britain into submission. The Royal Navy had no choice but to take an active role in stopping French ships from entering British waters. And fighting began on July 27 when Admiral Lord Gambier issued orders to his fleet. "I have not yet begun to fight" was the signal he issued to them. Myth number 4. Napoleon's army lost to the Redcoats at Waterloo. The Battle of Waterloo was fought on Sunday, June 18, 1815 near Waterloo in present-day Belgium. The Battle of Waterloo is known for its historical significance as the battle in which longtime dictator Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated by British and Prussian troops. The battle was to end the Napoleonic Wars. The Battle of Waterloo is regarded as a defining moment in European history, and Napoleon's defeat started a century of relative peace. After his success at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805 and the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805, Napoleon made plans to conquer Europe. After his escape from Elba in 1814, Napoleon attempted to regain his empire, but was defeated by the Seventh Coalition at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Napoleon then fled and abdicated as emperor in favor of his 4-year-old son, who was later defeated after a coup d'état led to his mother becoming the regent. Napoleon was exiled to the island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, where he died in 1821. The misconceptions of Napoleon Bonaparte's wars. Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most iconic figures in history. He was a military genius and a shrewd politician, but he had his share of shortcomings too. In this video, we will be exploring the misconceptions about Napoleon Bonaparte's wars and how they were more complex than what we thought. Misconception 1: Napoleon's wars were all conquests. Napoleon's wars were not just conquests, but also a way for him to promote his ideals such as nationalism and social order. They were not always successful, but they did serve to spread the French revolutionary spirit. The French Revolutionary War was a conflict fought between the First French Republic and many European monarchies. It began in April 1792 with an uprising against the monarchy led by France's National Assembly, mainly caused by anger at high taxes and food shortages. The war became part of a global war incorporating partisans from around the world, who battled each other over whether to support or oppose revolutionary causes. The American Revolutionary War was a war between Great Britain and 13 of the British North American colonies, which began in 1775, when many colonists in Massachusetts protested against the imposition of higher taxes by British authorities. It ended in 1783 with the signing of the Treaty of Paris. The British were able to take advantage of their naval superiority, and began to seize American ships carrying goods from France. The British government adopted a strategy of isolating its enemies so it could them one by one. Misconception 2: Napoleon had grandiose plans for peace worldwide. He wanted to create a new world order that would put an end to the old system of treaties, alliances, and balances of power. He wanted to replace it with a single, stable, and permanent system of international relations. In short, he wanted to make war impossible. Napoleon's second attempted peace plan was known as the Congress of Vienna. It proposed a grand meeting of all European states with Napoleon acting as the convener and host. In this case, he wanted to make peace not just permanent but also to institutionalize it under his own authority. He intended to create a new world order. The Congress began in November 1814 and lasted until June 1815 when its work was completed successfully. Despite various setbacks in Russia, Germany, Spain, and elsewhere, the Congress was attended by all the major powers of Europe, there being no notable absence. And delegates from Great Britain and Russia were present in full force throughout its sessions. The Congress work was highly significant in the diplomatic history of modern Europe in establishing stable peace. Misconception 3: Napoleon wanted to conquer Europe. He was a French general and emperor who attempted to extend the French revolutionary ideals throughout Europe. He had a great desire for power and glory, and he is one of the most influential military commanders in history. Napoleon was born in 1769 into a middle-class family in Corsica. In 1795, he became an artillery captain and quickly took part in the French Revolution. Napoleon started his military career as the general of a small army which rose to power from rank to rank and eventually led France to victory. In 1799, Napoleon became first consul of France, then briefly emperor, 1805. Before losing it again in 1814 at the end of the eventful 100 Days that eventually led to his exile on St. Helena, where he died in 1821. He defeated Austria, Prussia, Russia, and England during a career spanning over 5 decades. His subsequent campaign significantly expanded France's size and influence in Europe and beyond. Misconception 4: Napoleon's battles weren't really battles. He was a military genius, but he was also a master of propaganda. So he made battles look more like theater than what they were, with lots of dramatic speeches. However, the following sentence is not, in reality, Napoleon's battles were more like organized skirmishes. The Battle of Waterloo was not an organized skirmish. Instead of saying an organized skirmish, it would be better to say that Waterloo was not an organized battle in the typical sense. That it looked more theatrical than actual combat, with speeches and gunpowder. In contrast, Wellington and the English army were fighting for a very real victory. What are the effects of a Napoleonic system and a Wellingtonian system? Under Napoleon's reign, government was highly centralized, with ministers and civil servants reporting directly to the emperor. Thank you for watching the Napoleon's Wars, Facts, Myths, and Misconceptions, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please.